Guys, it's the Jimmy Hack channel, and today we are doing a steering rack replacement. I've got a Recode 1 ready to go in, so I'm just doing a video to show anyone else who's looking at doing a rack changeover what's entailed. I've done quite a few of these. First of all, you want to get your car up on a stand like this. I've just got the front up on a stand. You want to come under, turn your steering wheel exactly 180, so put the key in, start her up. What you want to do is take out the bolt that's usually there first up. Okay, it's around the other side actually, it comes from this side, the back. What you won't see the head, depending on how yours has been set up, but what you need to do is get this out, loosen it off, and then put your steering rack back to the straight ahead position, and then leave your steering in that straight ahead position. Try and lock it off at that. I'm going to be taking this bolt out, and probably don't need to take out the top one up there. There's another bolt up there. It'll just give us a bit more clearance to slide this whole universal joint should we need to move it. As you can see, it's pretty loose there. Now, selection of tools you need today. You'll need an 18 and a 19 millimeter. 13 millimeter. This is the 13 that I use. It's got that step on it. I use that so I can get in here, come behind, undo the sway bar. Alright, it's a lot easier with this one. So I've loosened off those. You'll need to drop the sway bar down. You'll also need to undo these bolts here. Now sometimes one of these is a bit dicky. It's got, this one's got the weld on it, which is fine. The other one doesn't. So when I turn that, the whole bloody thing, the whole bolt moves. See that? The whole bolt comes out. So somebody's corrected that before. And it's pretty common actually on the AUs, the whole bloody bolt will come out. So just be mindful of that. Put it back and do it nice and tight. Just up here, we're going to drain the oil out of the old rack, and I'll show you the old pump. So those bolts are, I think they're 19 millimeter bolts. Let's undo these now and get some fluid out of this thing. So all the fluid that's up in the reservoir will come out and drain into a pan. You'll need a pan like this. Alright, you'll need the tool to take out the tie rods. This one here I had to modify. I've ground a bit there so that I could actually, I don't know if I can wind this bolt out properly, but I didn't have enough clearance really to get that in there, so I just ground a bit of that out, ground a bit off here, just so I could get more clamp. And what happens with that is it goes under here. Okay, I have pulled these out, and then you just wind the bolt in. Make sure the nut's off, of course. You're going to take your nut off, 18 mil, and due course in time and pressure, that'll just go snap and pop out. Just watch your hands, because it will come out with a lot of force. You want to try and keep your wheels exactly in that position, so when you bolt up your new rack, it'll be pretty close to being the alignment that it was before you started. It's a good idea to take it down to the front end aligner and get them to do a wheel alignment after you've finished. Alright, so let's get half this gear off. I've shown you how to do most of it, so if you know how to use hand tools, it shouldn't be a problem. Let's get the oil out first. Alright, so here we go. The two bolts are out. Draining a bit of fluid in here. Just let that drain for a few minutes, capturing all that liquid. There's also a speed sensitivity switch on the other side of this. Let's see if we can get around with the camera. It's right around the back here. You've got to undo that too. It's got the same clip that a fuel injection uses. Unbolt that as well. Anything else to talk about here? No, not really. There's not a lot to take off these things. You've got some O-rings there that you could probably replace as well on those bolts there. Don't over tighten these. They don't need to be over tightened. We'll just let this drain for a moment. Then what we're going to do next is take out the sway bar. Alright, we've got the sway bar drop down, so that's clear. It's going to make it a lot easier working on this vehicle today. Look guys, you know, you got a 20-year-old car here, 200,000 Ks. It's preventative maintenance. Really this stuff should be replaced before it breaks down. There's a few items in a vehicle of this age that you need to really look at. You know, they're not going to last forever. Steering components are one of those. So really, you know, 15 to 20 year bracket should just replace it regardless whether it's leaking. The next thing would be the alternator. You usually get about 200,000 Ks out of one of those. The fans, cooling fans, they're another preventative item that you should just replace, and water pump and radiator. So they're basic things that really you should just replace regardless, because of its age, and the fact is it's going to break down. It's just a matter of time. You know, you don't see steering racks lasting for 40 years. It's unheard of. About 15 to 20 years would be expected. Alright, so let's move on. Next thing we're going to do, take out these bolts here holding the steering rack to the cross member. I'm going to drop them down.